good position to be generous with marks, but to be also firm where I have to award marks. I'm not used to praising people, but I have to praise someone this evening. That person is Professor Jibril Aminu. Professor Jibril Aminu, the former Vice Chancellor of the University of Maiduguri, gave us a lot of opportunities and a lot of room to be who we are today. His policy, which subsequent Vice Chancellors of the University of Maiduguri adopted, of ensuring that those of us from that part of the country, especially the Northeast, who could make first class or 2-1, should be absorbed by the university as graduate assistants, and of course subsequently be trained, have worked so perfectly well. You could see that 3 of the former vice chancellors, I want to hazard a guess, are all from the Northeast. All 3 of them. JD, Mala, and Professor Njodi. One from Adamawa, one from the very, what do you call that? No, Yobe will be the last. One from Gombe. And of course, Yobe State has contributed to the university so well through our Professor Mala Dauda. That policy has created a critical mass of academics of Northeast origin, and generally Nigerians had opportunities. But today, I believe it's time to tell the world what Professor Jibril Aminu did to help us create that critical mass of academics, especially in the University of Maiduguri. I want to also pay tribute to the chairman of this occasion, Mele Kiari, the GMD of the NNPC. I didn't know him before. I met him only recently, maybe from June 1999, when I emerged as the president of the Senate. And I worked very closely with him. And my experience, the recent experience, has left me in no doubt that here is a Nigerian that is committed to Nigeria, that is so patriotic, that is selfless. He is ready to make Nigeria better, even though he's not a politician, not an elected person. Recently, some of you will recall that the National Assembly passed an amendment, a very vital amendment, to the bill or the act on production sharing contract of 2003. That bill, after being passed by the National Assembly, was signed or assented to by President Muhammadu Buhari in London while he was outside. The significance of the amendment is such that Nigeria will, from January 2020, once the price of crude is above or between 60 and above, Nigeria will get $2 billion. What we get today, because of lack of amendment, is $260 million only. But due to the amendment, we'll get $2 billion. And that gentleman, the GMD, worked with us in the National Assembly. He literally was sleeping in the National Assembly with our committees to ensure that we had the correct amendment, and I cannot hide my feeling that this is one Nigerian that deserves some commendation. Well, I stepped into the University of Maiduguri in 1980, January 1980, so it's almost about 40 years. I then went for remedial year program. Of course, our registrar then was Malan Dair Bobo. Very popular man, very popular name. And of course, in 1984, I graduated from the Department of Geography. And of course, I returned to the university as a graduate assistant and worked from 1987 and left in 1997 to join politics. I don't want to call myself a reluctant recruit, but I never thought I would ever be in politics. Some people had to work hard on me, including Professor Adamu Umaru. We had to run around to see if it was possible for me to join politics, partisan politics. But of course, later I joined. I left the services of the university in 1997, and I came to the National Assembly in 1999. We, as leaders or representatives of these people, the people of Nigeria, we are the ones that are tasked, that are challenged. Nigerians, the ordinary Nigerians, know who they are. They are simply Nigerians. They are not Igbos, they are not Hausas, they are not Yorubas, they are not anyone but Nigerians. They are united in serve them. That when they elect people, the people should work for them. But we politicians are still not as united as those ordinary people. And the challenge today is for us, elected people, appointed people, politicians generally, to be united by one thing. To be united by the love of our country. That we are in a leadership position to work for the betterment of our people, to work for the betterment of Nigeria. And this is supposed to be the unity that will take Nigeria to the next level that everybody desires and needs. I believe the University of Maiduguri has made tremendous progress. 60,000 students is a large number by all means. I want to congratulate not only the present Vice Chancellor, but even the previous Vice Chancellors and other people who had served as in leadership position. But let me pay special tribute to the academic staff who want to be made, go to University of Maiduguri or to Unumaid. We are all made by Unumaid because we started from there. So even if we went somewhere for postgraduate studies, the foundation was the University of Maiduguri. And University of Maiduguri is successful not only in the area of getting people to be appointed in public office. In fact, the contribution of the University of Maiduguri to the development of Nigeria is largely seen in the area of the academic people that the university produced. There are so many people across this country who are in different universities teaching, researching, and their origin is the University of Maiduguri. So those of us who found themselves in politics today, or some who are in businesses, have made their own contributions because we have been produced by the university. But I believe that the university has produced so many academics that are so intelligent, so professional, and they are giving very good account of themselves across the country and across the globe. University of Maiduguri Alumni Association, we cannot thank you enough. Those of us that have been given the awards now have additional responsibility of ensuring that we help in whatever way we can. On behalf of all the awardees, I want to say that we are not going to abuse our positions, but we are not going to allow our opportunities to slip through our fingers. We'll make sure that the University of Maiduguri gets the best deal wherever we find ourselves. Of course, in the National Assembly recently, there were resolutions in both chambers about the increase or proposed increase in tuition fees. My advice to the leadership of the university is widen your consultation when you have to take a fundamental decision like this. Who can defend your position? So extend your consultations to them. Your committees in the National Assembly, committees on education, especially the tertiary institutions and TED Fund in the Senate and the House, they can be there as your advocates. They need to understand what you are doing. We are only concerned that University of Maiduguri is more populated by people from the Northeast, and we know the situation that the people of the Northeast have been since 2009. The Boko Haram insurgency has caused so much dislocation, so much suffering, and of course, our feeling has been that there should be no additional burden. But we will understand by the time we sit and have deliberations, dialogue, and find a way out. Let me, at this point, congratulate all the students of the University of Maiduguri, and of course, the lecturers. The students, despite the threat of Boko Haram, the insurgents, students have still remained faithful that they will still get their education in the University of Maiduguri. This is courage. This is belief in what the university can do to protect them and what the university can do to give them the education they require and the character formation that goes with it. Finally, let me, on behalf of the awardees, once again thank the Alumni Association. I want to be a little bit selfish. I want to dedicate my award to all the students, the 1984 students of geography, and of course, no political science, only geography. The 1984 geography students, we passed out in 1984. Many of us found themselves in different parts of the country, some outside the country, and we engage in various callings. And today, we are proud that so many of us either are in leadership positions or are in some controls of very vital organs of government or institutions, making vital contributions to national development. Finally, for the second time, I cannot but admit the fact that this is an opportunity for me to tell the story of the National Assembly, and I will not bore you. We are the most misunderstood arm of government because we are the youngest, we are not known properly. And it is our duty to tell our story to Nigerians whenever we have the opportunity. This 9th National Assembly is a different National Assembly. We have chosen consciously to be united on one thing. That thing is national interest. It doesn't matter what our platform is. You can be an APC member of the National Assembly. You can have conveyed us. We are grateful to our parties. We believe in the ideals of our parties, but we have resolved to work for Nigeria. Every one of us knows that when any calamity hits, it doesn't look for an APC or PDP or anybody to say you are free, you should go. Once there is kidnapping, what the kidnappers will be looking for will be where is high premium target. It doesn't matter who you are. What they look for is what you can really pay for ransom. We believe that we should make this country safer. We believe that the economy of Nigeria must work for Nigerians are outside there. They are in the villages or they are in slums in the cities. We have to work to make life better for them. Otherwise, we will never know peace. And it is our duty, it's our mandate to work so hard regardless of our political platforms. And in this resolve, we have also said we will work with the executive arm of government to ensure that there is some decency in what we do, that we are productive in what we do, that we are able to give Nigerians what they voted for. Nigerians didn't vote for us to come and fight. Nigerians voted for us to come and work for them. But in this enterprise, we are not going to allow the executive arm of government to take any advantage of us. We will disagree with them, but when we disagree, we are not going to the market square to fight, to shout. We are going to resolve in a round table manner. We are going to resolve on the national interest, not on what we feel or what we like or what we don't like. We should resolve. But the Minister of State works is here. And we kept to that promise that any minister who did not take the opportunity to defend the budget of his ministry, he should forget it. We are going to decide what to do with that ministry's budget proposal, ministry. And even if you had a prior approval, you needed a revalidation. That is the kind of support that the National Assembly needed from the executive, and we got it. And today, I'm pleased to say that all the ministries defended their budgets before the committees of the National Assembly. And in fact, we were thinking that we could pass the budget before the end of December. But recently we discovered we made even a saving in time. And therefore we are thinking, but by the grace of God, on the 28th of November, we are hopeful that we can pass the budget 2020. And I give a lot of credit to distinguished senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and members, honor members of the House of Representatives, because of the commitment, dedication, and capacity they have shown to work to ensure that this budget cycle, where the budget could be passed May, June, and of course we don't know when the implementation will start or end, is stopped. We need to make our budget cycle January to December because that is what is known, so that businesses could plan. In fact, because the public spending determines the availability of funds in this country, you need to start implementing the budget in January so that money starts circulating. If you have to start in June, you have already lost half of the year. So we believe that we are going to achieve this, and we want to thank you, Nigerians, for keeping faith in us and giving us the opportunity to serve you. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, President of the Senate. Please, a huge round of applause for the President of the Senate and also people of the National Assembly for their good work. So, the President of the Senate has said it all. A beautiful speech, I must say, or two gens, what I can say about that? Okay. So before he leaves, can we please have everyone be on your feet for the national anthem?
So the next thing, while he's still seated, you are going to invite Professor Jody Janamba. Okay.
Thank you very much. With that, we close for the day. Okay.
So, the long evening is finally come to an end. The curtains have been drawn on this very epoch-making event. We'd like to once more thank each and everyone that's been part and parcel of this event. The President of the Senate, the most distinguished, very hardworking, most proficient, eloquent, and of course highly dynamic, distinguished Senator Ahmad Ibrahim Lawan, we thank you very much for gracing this occasion. The past Vice Chancellors, our awardees, each and everyone that has been part, the National ESCOs, the FCT ESCOs, the organizing committees, each and everyone that has been part of this particular celebration. And of course, too, The excellence take us back home safely. Thank you for honoring our invitations. Thank you for making this event such a wonderful night. Thank you for honoring.
Now only us we know.